Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Your dial is set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're broadcasting 2 hours from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. And if you'd like to call us, we'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933. 866-582-9933. Our dear friend Nathan is engineering the broadcast in Minnesota at GCN. It's great to hear his voice. Captain John Regan's with us in Studio D, Dallas. Welcome, Captain John Regan.
Good morning, Vincent.
Good. Is it Monday? Good morning, John. Is it Monday already? That's how we start. Captain John Regan and I place the call a few minutes before the broadcast. We check each other's pulse. and it always starts out with, is it Monday already? Oh, boy. Well, John, meet up tonight. Dr. Norman Shealy and Dr. Sergey Sorin will be at Jimmy's Egg at 4:45 to 8 p.m. And Silent Night will be there. And I'll be there. I'm going to make it to the meetup tonight to introduce Dr. Sergey Sorin to the meetup group. And for those who haven't met Dr. Norman Shealy, I'll introduce him as well. So it's going to be an educational night. Tax deductible if you start your business, any kind of business, and this meetup becomes part of it. So I suggest you consider doing that. So John Regan, I am at thefinancialstateoftheunion.com, and I suggest our class go there as well. Click on the news tab. Yeah, I want to share something with you. Over the weekend, John, we had a day and a half of sunshine, and it was warm enough such that the rain would and the puddles would evaporate, and we could cut the lawn. Cut down the first 10 inches of the lawn. And so we have a couple Cub Cadet lawnmowers here. They were my mom and dad's. One of them's 12 years old. One of them's 54 years old. The 54-year-old lawnmower, Cub Cadet, has original tires on it. And they hold air. And you can ride around, and as a matter of fact, the tires look, the tread looks almost new. Now it's on its third engine, so it's been used a lot, but the original tires. The 12-year-old one, tires are dry rotted. And you might think, well, they were stored differently. Nope, they weren't. They were in the same garage. And then we moved them to the same barn. And it's not like one was in the sun and one was not in the sun. That's not the case either, because there are no windows in the barn. And they were out of the sun. So what we're finding out is these cheap Chinese tires that are on these new lawnmowers don't last worth a darn. We've had the same experience with a wheelbarrow. Cheap, garbage Chinese tires on the wheelbarrow from Sam's Club. They last about a year, and then they fail. I can't imagine that happening back in the 1960s, where somebody would buy a product and it would fail in a year, and that company would still be around to sell products. Now it's okay. Well, heck, that wheelbarrow's a year old, and the wheelbarrow's like $60, and and go to buy the tires for it. Has two of them, and the tires are $35 a piece. This is nuts. And that's what we're experiencing. So I just wanted to share that with you. And one other thing, John. I hear people are more angry than they've been in a very, very, very long time. They are so angry at the government that they are using a derogatory term to refer to the president, and it refers to his color. I have never heard that in all but the last few weeks of his reign. I haven't heard people refer to him by this derogatory term before. You know, they would refer to him as Barry, or the golfer, or the president, or Obama, or Barack Obama. But they never referred to him by this derogatory name. Now they're furious. And I think this is just a hint of what's to come. John, are you hearing anything like this, or is it just me? And by the way, I'm not looking for it. I'm not instigating this. I'm just hearing people say it. It just comes out of their mouths. All of a sudden, you know, we could be talking about a tractor, and all of a sudden, this word comes out of their mouth, and they switch to Barry, and they refer to him by this derogatory term. They're furious. And you know, I can't say they shouldn't be furious, but this is the first time I've heard them call him by that term, and I've heard it over and over in the last couple of weeks. So, what's your take?
Maybe they just self-identify as black, and then it's a term of endearment.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true, because you know, there are terms for Italians and Germans and Chinese and Japanese and English. I mean, there are terms for derogatory terms for every group. However, and they can all be used. We can use whatever we want to call the Italians or the Mexicans and Spaniards or whatever. That's okay, but not the blacks. You can't call them by the name that seems to be or was the most popular. That seems to be off limits. But that's the term that I'm hearing used to describe Barack Hussein Obama Barry Soetoro lately. Because I guess people are furious that they're broke. They're furious that you can't buy an American-made tire tube in this country because we haven't made one in 12 years. And that leads to something called the high cost of cheap goods, right? The high cost of cheap goods. So you save whatever it is, the percentage on the front end. We don't make it here anymore, and it wears out, so you have to buy a new one, and another new one, and another new one, and another new one, and then your equipment's down, and what a nuisance that is. Life was a lot simpler before we started buying everything from China. Thank you, Bill Clinton, and Hillary Clinton, and Barack Hussein Obama Barry Soetoro, and his wife, Michael. I'm annoyed, John. I really am.
It's really disturbing hearing about the wheelbarrows, because you understand with more complex machinery, such as your tractors, you can have so many things go wrong, from belts and hoses to hydraulic lines to transmissions. But a wheelbarrow is pretty simple. It's a basket with a wheel on it. Yeah. And once the supply chain goes, what are you going to use as a replacement wheel?
Well, that's the problem. The problem is that the wheelbarrow is like, around $60 from Sam's Club. And it's a stupid design. I think it's called, begins with an M, like Mystic or Magic or some dumb thing like that. And you can't lift it up very high. You can't lift the handles up very high to transfer a lot of the weight to the front wheel, because it's got this safety to prevent it from tipping over or something. It's just the most poorly designed piece of garbage I've ever seen. So if you're in Sam's Club and you look at this two-wheeled wheelbarrow, forget it. Just forget it. The one to get would be a contractor's wheelbarrow, the old-fashioned one-wheeled wheelbarrow with the heavy wood handles and the steel pan. That's the one to get. Like 6 cubic feet or 6.5 cubic feet. That's the one to get. But it's going to cost about $100. But why spend $60 on one that will only last a year? That needs new tires after a year. That'll cost you $70 for the tires. And it's small and it's flimsy. I bought it from my wife because she really wanted to have a wheelbarrow. She thought, she looked at it and she thought it'd be good. What a great design, a new design. Well, it's really hard to improve on some of the designs that we've had around for 100 years. It's really hard to improve on some of these great mechanical designs that originated in the United States of America. And that's another thing. Whatever happened to the gardeners? You look around, and we don't have very many gardeners anymore. I'm talking about, some people have apartments, and you might see plants hanging from overhead railings or something, or the timbers or beams or whatever, hooks screwed in, and plants hanging, or plants on the balconies, or plants on the verandas, or plants on the deck. You don't see that very much anymore. What the heck happened? We forgot how to do this? This is insanity. Well, you can always go to the store and get whatever you want, right? I don't think so. If you want incandescent light bulbs, you're going to have a tough time going to the store and getting them. I'm sorry, John. Did you hit my button or did I hit it?
I think it started when I said, "Good morning, Vincent."
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So it wasn't me. Okay. Where would you like to start today?
Well, we've only got a short period before the break yet. So what I'm going to do when we get back is last week you had me on Tuesday to talk about the stuff we didn't talk about Monday, and we never got to that. And I'm only going to pull one item from last week, and that's the block, ball, and chain, which is what I'm calling the blockchain now. I really, looking back at things, believe Bitcoin was the beta test, and this ties in with the Internet of Everything and how your life will be controlled in a very short period of time. And I also want to finish off some thoughts I had on the discussion we had Tuesday. So we ran out of time on my rabbit trail there.
We did. Captain John Regan's with us. We'll be right back after these few short commercial announcements. Meet up tonight. Jimmy's Egg, Norm Shealy, Dr. Sergey Sorin, Silent Night, and I'll be there. We'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from IronEdison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of IronEdison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our IronEdison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at IronEdison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Hi, this is Ron Paul. I'm a former 22-year congressman and Republican presidential candidate. I'm here to tell you about something that just might save your lives. You never know when there will be another Katrina, an economic collapse, or a serious drought. We should all have a little food storage that will carry us through tough times. I'm going to tell you about a great way to do that. A U.S. company named Harvest Right has a kitchen appliance that can help you be prepared. It's a home freeze dryer. With the product, you can preserve the foods your family loves. And the best part is the food will last 25 years and still taste great. I've tried it and it's amazing. With a home freeze dryer from Harvest Right, you can literally freeze dry anything you eat, even things like ice cream. To learn more, call Harvest Right today at 800-594-4635 or go to harvestright.com. That's 800-594-4635 or harvestright.com.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm, Westable Office in Houston, Texas, is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Do you have dry hands or itchy, peeling skin? Are your cracked feet in need of a makeover for sandal season? Hi, my name is Diane Cook, the creator of Bee Spa Hand and Foot Cream. Bee Spa is all natural, 16% beeswax, marigold extract, and other essential oils and nutrients. Bee Spa is great for exceptionally dry hands and feet, but Bee Spa can be used anywhere on the body. I am sure you will see a difference overnight. Bee Spa is the only cream you will ever need. The convenient 2.5 ounce size jar travels nicely and a little goes a long way. Bee Spa Hand and Foot Cream costs $29.99. Use promotion code 101 for free shipping. Order Bee Spa Hand and Foot Cream today at beespa.com. That's BEESPA.com. That's BEESPA.com.
This is an alert. If your business or church is building this year, you're about to pay more than you should. This could mean thousands of dollars more for your office, retail space, church, or warehouse. A General Steel building can save you as much as half the cost and time of similar conventional construction. And we're offering rebates of up to $20,000 to help you build today. Call General Steel for free information that could save you thousands. Call 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL. 866-91-STEEL.
Captain John Regan is with us, the financial state of the union.com. I'm Vin Finelli, USA Prepares. And we've been talking about the blockchain. John, please continue.
Well, let me just back up to finish my Tuesday thoughts. But I talked about how, what I do with the financial state of the union, that we have an impossible situation. We cannot avoid a financial collapse. How that usually leads to war. And this time around, the United States homeland won't be spared like it was in World War I and World War II. And we can expect an attack. And the most bang for the buck is attacking our power grid. I went over 4 ways. The power grid can go down. 3 of those are man-made. You have EMP, you have the natural from the sun, the CME, solar storm. You've got cyber attack, and you have physical attack. And one of the things I wanted to just briefly talk about, if you saw Armageddon, like I say, the first 10 minutes of the movie I loved, the rest of it I thought was horrific, just unrealistic, expectation of what the future is going to look like. And they had an EMP attack on the United States, followed by an invasion of foreign troops to go, also U.S. Army, go door to door confiscating guns. And to me, that is the most ridiculous scenario, because that is so expensive in terms of dollars or rubles and manpower. Why would you do it when in a short period of time, you're going to have pretty much everybody die off from starvation? Now, if that is the scenario when attacked by a foreign power, I would hope they would at least send units in to the nuclear power plants along with diesel fuel so that we don't have all these power plants exploding and adding more radiation to the world. But if you look at why would you want to try and institute order in the United States after such an attack? You have certain Americans that, especially the more competent ones that believe in freedom, those people make very poor slaves. And then most of the rest of the people are, the incompetent Americans, they're pretty useless as slaves. So it's kind of like, why don't you just let them all die off and you come in and you take over all the natural resources? But even that, while it's a possible scenario that it's just an attack against the United States or a select number of countries, the problems we have are worldwide, whether it's, well, it's financially for sure. We have the drought causing problems with raising crops. We have a lot of crops that are having problems with diseases. So the food problems and financial problems are worldwide. I do not see how we get out of having a world war, with one possible exception, and that's if they institute the one world government. It's kind of like the grid down, where you lose 99.5% of the people within a couple of months after food runs out, and the food will run out within the first week or two. Losing the 99.5% of the people, to me, is the happy path, because you also would lose the technology. If you end up with the one world government, all this technology in place, it's kind of like, imagine Nazi Germany if they had today's technology. It's just horrific to think about. And I've pulled forward one link from last week. It's called The Block, Ball, and Chain. It goes to an article from ZDNet, which is a computer site. 6 reasons to love blockchain technology. And those reasons are preserving intellectual property, serving as ultimate registry for Internet of Things, maintaining smart contracts, opening up manufacturing, providing clarity to global supply chains, and enhancing collaboration without intermediaries. And we'll discuss the implication of blockchain when we get back.
Okay, Captain John Regan's with us. I'm Vince Finelli. We'll be right back.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Purchase a ProPure system during the Crazy May sale and get a free ProMax shower filter or water filter pitcher. Remove up to 200 contaminants with the Pro 1G 2.0 truly cleanable, reusable filter. We don't stretch our claims, we just deliver performance. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to selectquote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at selectquote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Did you know a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, you might not sleep so well. But now, SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of all CPAP germs, and it's completely hands-free. For a limited time, you can try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-900-0684.
SoClean changed the CPAP experience for the better. My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean destroys CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs with no hassle. Never have to clean your machine by hand again. There's no water, chemicals, or disassembly. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto, your CPAP system is clean and fresh in minutes. Call SoClean.com to try it risk-free at home for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer, only available by calling 1-800-900-0684. That's 1-800-900-0684.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Glass Captain John Regan's with us. John, I just took a quick look at the opening page of usaprepares.com. And when you go to usaprepares.com and ask you if you'd like to participate in this poll, and the poll is about the USA Prepares Most Wanted and Club email. And it says, what are your top priorities for USA Prepares projects? And the choices are, there are 6. Battery desulfator, which is a kit that we want to provide that will let you recondition your batteries and lead acid batteries, cars and trucks and so forth, maybe even solar panel batteries that will let your batteries last way longer. Another one was the LED lighting strips kit, the kind that we prototyped for our home here in Missouri at the farmhouse. Another one is the colloidal silver generator kit. Next one is tinctures, natural remedies, and then a radiation detection kit. And then the last one would be, you tell us, other, okay? Number 1, radiation detection kit. Now, that wasn't the way it was on Friday, okay? Radiation detection kit is number 1. Tie for number 2 is the battery desulfator and colloidal generator kits. Number 3 is tinctures. And number 4 would be the LED lighting kit. So I just want to let you know, if you go to usaprepares.com, page number 1, vote for your favorite. And that's the one we're going to try to make available first. Okay? So what kits? And we're trying to drive the price down to a very, very, very low price so that you can get these kits and improve your chances of survival. So that's at usaprepares.com, page number 1. Okay, John, back to you.
Well, I think when people consider the blockchain, if they think about it at all, they think about how it would be used with money, but it goes so far beyond that. It would basically create a permanent record of ownership or transactions that can be used for your life. Every place you've worked, let's say every doctor visit you've had, every prescription you've had, every pill you took or didn't take, every place you drove, every phone call you made. It just keeps going on and on. And the notion that you could do or would have a black market operational, this does away with that, because everything that's manufactured would be put into the blockchain environment. I'm sure there'd be some exceptions for current things below a certain level, but certainly things like computers and printers and your phones, your books, gold and silver, all of those things would have to be entered in the blockchain. And I imagine they'd have a certain period of time where you don't have to prove ownership. Because realistically, can you prove that you bought a book or that a coin or a ring that's been passed down by your parents or grandparents are actually yours? So they'll have this registration period where you blockchain it so they don't confiscate your gold and silver. However, it doesn't do away with the difficult economic times. So the people that do have gold and silver will eventually have to convert it, probably at an unfavorable rate, into the digital currency in order to be able to buy food and the like. Now, I would imagine one of the other things that would be blockchained are seeds, and then you'd update that as to when they were planted, and then you'd update that again based on the harvest. And of course, you have the drones keeping track of what's growing, so they know pretty much what what food is there. Kind of the same way that you guess you'd say the IRS keeps track of laundromats, and this goes back years ago. Based on the utility usage, if the laundromat reported an income, since it's a cash business, that differentiated that from a certain percent, they'd get audited. And it's the same way here, is that if you're reporting too much or too little food, you can expect a visit from your friendly IRS agents or Homeland Security or whoever's doing the enforcing on that. And then when you eat or when you have dinner parties, you've got the applications that keep track of what you eat. You have the smart plates, the smart forks, the smart fridge, and of course the smart trash can. And of course you don't want to throw away too much food, or that gets you in trouble too. So the absolute control of every area of life is all between the blockchain and the Internet of everything that we have talked about on the show for more than 2 years now. Did you want to comment on that before we move on? Or?
Yeah. John, I was thinking about the governments, and I was thinking about this over the weekend. The governments want what we have. Literally. Whatever it is we have, they want it. And they take it piece by piece by piece until they get it. And in order to do that, they are using our money to build systems so that they can watch everything that we do, so that they can take what we have and control our behavior, including terminate our lives. That's what I'm seeing, John. It's absolutely crystal clear to me that that's what they're doing. So here's an example. If you want to buy something, it has been, during the manufacturing process, it has been taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed through all the employees that work on it, and the purchasing of raw materials and the fuels that are used and the transportation of the materials and all of that. It's all been taxed. Then when you buy it, they want another piece of that item, and that's sales tax. And they want another piece of it through the income tax. And then if it's an item such as what's considered personal property in many states, they want another piece of that same exact item. And that's taxed through personal property tax. So there's a whole bunch of taxes that have gone into the cost of whatever it is that we buy. And we don't realize it. So they're taking a piece of it at a time. And if we realize a gain on the sale of it, they want to tax that. And then if we're fortunate enough to have an estate that we leave to our family, they want to tax that too. So I really believe, John, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, that they want everything that we have, a piece at a time. What do you think?
Well, let me throw this at you. I believe this next version of blockchain will allow governments to place a freeze where you cannot transfer ownership of your item or give the government the ability to confiscate whatever it is, whether it's property or the digital currency. And of course, you have very little recourse on that. And because this is the way that ownership will be proved, if you're in possession of anything that doesn't show ownership, then if you cannot provide the record for it, then you're in possession of illegal property.
And we talked about that with a little example many years ago, that if you get pulled over by the plague, and they say license and registration, you open up your wallet and you've got 4 $100 bills in there, that is really suspicious. Like, where'd you get that money, boy? Where'd you get those hundreds? Obviously, they're stolen. Obviously, they're drug money. But if you have the electronic recording piece of plastic that lets you walk around with credit lines of $5,000 on each of multiple credit cards, that's okay. But if you want the anonymity of those pieces of paper that's with green ink and black ink of dead presidents, or Tubman, Harriet Tubman, that seems to be of concern, especially the ones that say 100 on them. It's unbelievable, John. And even those are serialized. The 100s. Well, all the paper currency is serialized. And it's trackable. It's amazing. Well, I'm resisting. I'm resisting to the best I can. I'm using cash whenever I can. I do not have a debit card. Why would I want a debit card? John, can you explain to me the purpose of a debit card? What would that do for me?
Well, they're going to be, pretty much worthless because it'll probably be your phone that's your medium of payment method. But even today, when you use cash, especially if it's one of the big stores, they probably have already done the facial recognition on you, so they know who you are and what you bought.
You're talking about my phone. I don't have a phone. So now what?
You will.
I will have a phone? Well, wait a minute. Why have a phone? Why not just... Okay. Bert Bertonis and I, many years ago, were stomping around Missouri, and we were looking for alien technology. And he said, why don't we measure? We'll bring a frequency analyzer, a spectrum analyzer, and we'll just see because there were these buckyballs, and they were flying around, and we were going to set up this antenna array and kind of track these things. And he said, let's check and see what frequencies they might be using. And I said, well, why do you think they're using a frequency? Why don't you think they just know? If these things are out there and they're scouting around, they're going to report back to the mothership. Why would they communicate? Why don't they just know? So in that regard, why do we have to have a phone? Why doesn't it just know? Why doesn't it just know what we bought or are buying? Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com. So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Suffering from illness or disease? Frequently in pain? Overstressed? Always tired? The solution is to oxygenate your cells because disease cannot survive in an oxygen-rich environment. Introducing Vital Ion, the first mineralized edible oxygen in the world. Go to toolsforfreedom.com and get the Miracle of Oxygenation DVD free with any Vital Ion purchase. Call 800-770-8802. That's 800-770-8802. Let Vital Ion edible oxygen be your daily fountain of youth.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
There's nothing more enticing and intoxicating than the finest meat cooking on an open flame. Freeze-dried meat from newharvest.com is U.S. grown, 100% all-natural with no extra fillers. Just grass-fed beef and free-range chicken guaranteed to stay fresh and delicious. Add New Harvest freeze-dried meats to your current food storage. You'll buy direct from the factory, not a third party, ensuring the best price and the highest quality. See all our products at newharvestfoods.com. That's newharvestfoods.com.
Class Captain John Regan's with us, and we've been talking about the blockchain technology. And John, my understanding is that you absolutely, positively have to have computers in the transaction system in order to make this work. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, so then, that being the case, if the computers aren't running, or the network's not running, let's say we'll call it the internet, if that fails at any point in the transaction process, or the local computer fails, or the database that is the the databases that are the repositories, I'm sure they'll be redundant. If they're not available, then the system stops. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. And let's make it really simple. Let's say let's say we have a brownout, like Venezuela. Let's say we have a storm, like Superstorm Sandy or Hurricane Katrina, or some of the storms that have pummeled the Northeast or the Southeast or the West or the Midwest. Or we have a CME and we have an electrical outage. Will this thing work without electricity?
There's probably some things they can do that would make it viable, because now when you have a disaster, say like Joplin, they'll bring in these mobile units that allow cellular devices to communicate. And typically in these type of disasters, the devices are whitelisted, so only the government people can do it. But you can imagine just spreading that a little bit more so that businesses and consumers can use their cell phones, the text mode of it for transactions, and that would also keep the blockchain intact. So I see ways that they would do of trying to get around that. But the other side, too, is, since when do those in power care about any kind of inconvenience you would have?
Well, and I don't know of a single cell phone. I may be in the dark on this, but I don't know of a single cell phone that is battery powered with replaceable batteries that you'd get off the shelf, like AAA or AA or 9-volt batteries. All the cell phones that I know of have rechargeable batteries, and the newest ones can't take the batteries out of, like, smartphones, easily. Can't take the batteries out easily. You've got to take the case apart. So, and usually a technician does that. So what I'm saying is, if you have a cell phone that is battery powered and you can't charge it because the grid's down, how's this going to work? Or do you just go to a charging station, walk to your charging station, or, where you want to transact business, and then plug your phone in for half an hour?
Well, you also keep in mind this goes hand in hand with the Agenda 21, 2030 type stuff, where everybody is herded into cities. So you've got a lot more options from a control point of view.
Of course, I don't like anything that we're talking about. I mean, this whole thing, I got a rash just thinking about it. I don't like any of this, John.
I don't either.
All of those who are in class today are freedom and liberty-loving individuals. We don't take direction very well. We want to do the right thing. We don't cause problems, but we do want to be left alone. And we don't want people spying on us, telling us that we ate too much of a specific food, that they won't tell us what's in it. Because it's not good for us to eat that. But they won't tell us what's in it. Because Congress prevented us from knowing. So it's getting harder and harder to be informed consumers. Like, where'd your meat come from? Where'd your meat come from? Where'd the beef come from? Well, any of 13 or 14 countries. But how's it labeled? USDA inspected. How about that? John, what are we going to talk about when we come back?
Well, let me go into hour two, where some of the more important news is.
Okay. TheFinancialStateOfTheUnion.com. Click on the news tab, please, and follow along with the hour number 2 section. Captain John Regan's with us. Meet up tonight, Jimmy's Egg, 4:45 to 8 p.m. Norm Shealy and Dr. Sergey Sorin. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares Unfiltered and Untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares Untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
This is Dan Pillett. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Watch the greenbacks tumble. Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Captain John Regan's with us. John, at the top of the hour news, I heard a piece that talked about the gas prices in the United States. average price is $2.32 per gallon for unleaded regular. 55-cent rise in the last 13 weeks. We reported that this would happen. Gas prices are continuing to rise. And the news report that we just heard, the news report that we just heard said it was likely to continue rising. Gasoline at a low months and months and months ago was $1.29 here in Missouri. Missouri seems to be one of the lowest priced places to get gas. It was $1.29 months and months and months ago, and now it's $2.04, a 75-cent increase. So I just wanted to let you know, John, that what we talked about was exactly right. It is happening, and it's just continuing to go up and up and up. Let's see. We've got Kyle in Yeah. Go ahead, John.
There were stations here that jumped 20 cents last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's 204. And it was $1.89, so almost as much here in Missouri. Kyle in Montana, welcome.
Good morning, Vince. You hit one of my buttons, and I guess I'm just going to say this, and I feel for people, and I'm glad that you're offering the kits and stuff that you are, but to me, for the radiation detector kit to be number one is an indicative of the way American people truly are right now. People don't understand. I'll just go through a quick story. We had a couple over last night for dinner, and they're good friends of mine. They're lovely people. And they're sitting on a house worth $370,000. And they're sitting over probably close to $100,000 in the bank. And he's awake. He knows what's going on. He can see a financial collapse coming. But they won't do anything. And to me, the radiation detector kit, your people are going to run around with that. They're going to look at where the radiation is and what they're going to do. or they don't even think about what they're going to do, I don't think. My personal belief is people would run around with that, see where the radiation is. Oh, it's bad out. But they're not going to run around in a rubber suit. They probably don't even have one. They're not going to run around in a face mask or a gas mask. They're not going to take their clothes off before they come in the house and change clothes back and forth and back and forth. They're not going to do it. Whereas learning how to do tinctures will keep you alive. Colloidal silver is one of the most incredible things you can't even imagine. People don't understand how important that is. It's like I was talking to them last night, and I said this. I said, I try to prepare so that when something happens, I don't care what it is. When something happens, I want to put my mind in the position of saying, this is where I want to be after this happens. One day after is just going to be, it's going to be a difference between night and day with the way you're having to live. And it just frustrates the heck out of me that the American people want to know all this. They're keyboard warriors who really, truly are not doing anything. I'm sitting here talking to those people, and we had them over for dinner, and they're wonderful people. I'm sitting here with $23 to my name, and I'm going to use that money to go out and buy a few pepper plants that are specialized pepper plants that I want. One of them's called a Chinese 5-color and these different things, and I'm going to save the seeds and replant them. But I'm sitting here running on fumes financially and doing everything I can do, and they're sitting here, and he could afford, with that, selling his house that he has to pay over $3,000 a year in taxes on this place, and not prepared for nothing. They drive a car he can't work on. Both cars they can't work on. They're newer cars. You have no chance if something goes wrong or bad. And if the supply chain goes down and and you can't even afford to pay the dealership even on a warranty, they can't fix it if the supply chain goes down. You're up that fabulous stream without a paddle. People need to think. It's one of my big hot buttons, and I'm sorry I'm calling in about this, but I feel bad about it. But
no.
I'm just so frustrated.
Well, okay, Kyle, you drive a truck that's, 22 years old and 94 model?
96, but yeah, 20 years old.
Okay, all right, 96. And it's a diesel because you wanted to make sure that you could have fuel that would last a long time, and you could run that should you need to fill it up and not have the filling station have fuel, right?
Right.
Okay. So, Kyle, you're thinking the Minimax regret system, where you want to minimize your maximum regret, kind of the way I think as well. And those of us who are farmers think that way. I understand what you're saying. I'm really frustrated as well. I'm going to a meetup tonight. And every once in a while, I go to the meetups and I say, hey, how many of you are more prepared than you were 5 years ago, 4 years ago? I say those things because I just want to gauge whether I'm wasting my time or not. Now, many people are keyboard warriors. They can recite chapter and verse about all kinds of things. But I don't think we are as prepared as we need to be. And I'm talking about even the meetup group. And right now, I can tell you that I just did a refresh on the most popular kits. There's a three-way tie now, so radiation is not number one. Right now, it's battery desulfator kits, colloidal silver generator, and radiation detection, all at 22%. So from the time we started the broadcast to now, it's changed. So now we have a three-way tie: radiation detection kits, colloidal silver generator kit, and the battery desulfator kit. Now, the one actually I thought would be number one, I was very surprised. And that I thought would be LED lighting because it's easy to do, it works, and when the power goes out, you just flip the switch and you're good to go. And people panic when the power goes out. First thing they look for is candles and a flashlight. I thought that would be it. No, it's not. That is, that's at the bottom. So, no, tie for number one is radiation detection, colloidal silver, battery desulfated. That's number one. Those three are number one. Number two is tinctures, and number three is LED lighting.
Yeah, I just highly suggest that people, you know me, I'm not online, I don't do any of that stuff. But the people don't understand how powerful tinctures are. Yeah. And they don't understand how powerful colloidal silver is. We had a dog that was on the verge of death, and I started putting colloidal silver in his water. And that's all I did. That's all I could afford to do. And it picked him up, and he is still alive 8 months later, running around, grabbing sticks and everything else. You know, it just pulled him out of it. This stuff is amazing, and people... just put yourself, please, I'm begging the class, put yourself in the mindset of what am I going to do one day after something happens? Please.
Yeah, and prepare for that now.
Yes, absolutely. Yep, it will open your eyes. It will open your eyes if you can put your mind there. I just am begging people because I know what's going to happen. And we told those people that we had for dinner last night, don't come up, don't show up here. You know, it's going to be worthless because I've got enough for my family, trying to prepare a garden that would grow enough for 7 people for an entire year. Every penny I've sold boots, I've sold everything I can that I don't see as, I mean, I've got good boots, don't get me wrong, but I had a pair that's very expensive. I've sold them just so I could put it into topsoil for my garden. I'm doing everything that I possibly can to push toward getting this ready to be a one day after place. And I just, anyway, that's all I had to say, Vince. I just, you know, we know we've got a blooming communist in the government because just this thing going on with Vietnam. I can't even believe Congress is so wimpy. They won't impeach this guy. But anyway, because of that, now that we've got it, we know how it's going to end. We know something is going to happen. You better get ready for the one day after and do something now that will keep you and your family alive. That's all I
John Regan, your thoughts?
I'll listen.
Well, let's listen.
What I've been talking about is if we have the event that takes away the supply chain, there's things we can do to protect ourselves, and even more important than the supplies are the skills and the community around you. And that's what we tend to be lacking in our preparedness efforts. Now, if it goes the other way, I just talked about the blockchain where everything is controlled, that's when you have the choice. You either submit to the system or you head for the hills and live a hunter-gatherer lifestyle until they get you.
Kyle, thank you for your call. It was great to chat with you. Kyle in Montana, USAPrepares.com instructor. John and Regan, I'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team. at ironedison.com. 720-432-6433. 720-432-6433.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. And like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Today, how to incorporate your business in just 10 minutes so you won't lose everything if you get sued. Step 1, stop putting it off. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business tomorrow, it's not just your business at risk. You can lose everything: your home, your car, even your life savings. Step 2, call the following number for a free 10-minute incorporation guide from Incorporate.com. 1-800-941-5257. They don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating quick and easy. So you can incorporate or form an LLC in just 10 minutes. That number again is 1-800-941-5257. Step 3, congratulate yourself. By taking just 10 minutes to incorporate your business or form an LLC, you protected your home, your car, and your life savings. And that is how you incorporate your business in just 10 minutes. But hurry while they're still giving away these 10-minute incorporation guides for free. Call 1-800-941-5257. That's 1-800-941-5257.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pileski of the Pileski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. The serious bleeding event led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
You know, class, one of the kits that we talked about off the air making available would be an emergency water filtration kit, one that would have a rechargeable filter element that you could construct yourself. Make your own activated charcoal or your own charcoal, and out of wood that you've got lying around, good clean wood. I mean, if you've got a tree or tree limbs, you can make charcoal and put it in this kit and filter your water for emergency purposes. It wouldn't be the best, but it'd last a lifetime. It'd be very inexpensive. I mean, that was something that we thought about as well, and maybe we can add that to the next round. But I have to tell you, I am delighted to see that you're thinking. I'm delighted to see that, well, as a matter of fact, you're concerned about energy. That's why you're interested in the battery desulfator. You're interested in lighting. That's why you're interested in the LED lighting strips. You're interested in colloidal silver, tinctures, and the radiation kit. I'm delighted you're interested in everything. I really am. The question is, which first thing is first? And that's what this poll at page number 1 of USA Prepares is all about. It's for you to determine what's first in your mind. Captain John Regan?
Well, let me try and get to some of the top things. Going to end up in the link liposomal vitamin C. What I want to do is give a brief personal update because I know some of you out there are probably wondering. Becky was supposed to start a new job today. And last week was such a roller coaster. Thursday, right before she left, the place where she's been temping at made her an offer. And that gets us a little bit more money and some benefits. So it's the first time she had two job offers at once, and it was really tough on her because she'd already had accepted the first one and had to tell him, I'm sorry. And she'll be a temp for another month, so we're just going to have fairly reduced income. Like I say, it's better than unemployment, but a lot less than what she was making. And even when she goes perm, it basically rolls back the increase she got from moving to the position that she had up until last month. So while prices are going up, our income will be down. Some possible good news is that in this area, Dallas, I might be able to get some temporary work with my Excel and Access background and financial reporting and budgeting and things of that nature. That might get some income in. Of course, that plays havoc with being on the air, and Vince and I have discussed possible ways of getting around that too. But then there's another issue I have to debate whether I should talk about or not. And I believe it's important because some of you may find yourself in the same position. Becky and I weighed ourselves about 3 weeks ago, and we'd lost considerable weight. And while, we definitely want to weigh less, the thing is, we're still eating the same cheap processed food. My back and her knees don't allow us to do any real kind of exercise. So the weight loss just happened by itself. And for those of you that are in the Springfield area that know me, and back 2 or 3, well, I think it was more like 3 or 4 years ago now, I had a chance to try out Dr. Wallach's ASAP program, and I lost considerable weight, almost down to 350, which is still way too much. And with no effort at all, I'm now down to 354. And when you have unexplained weight loss, that's not really good news. The most likely cause is cancer. I do not have a diagnosis on that because we don't have health insurance. We can't afford to go to a doctor. Couldn't afford treatment even if we did. So I'll talk a bit to you about what my plans are when we get back.
Captain John Regan's with us. The financialstateoftheunion.com. He's relating a personal story about his situation and his wife's. We'll be right back.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Well, class, if you're a survivalist or a hunter or a target shooter and you clean your guns regularly, clean them in oil, and make sure they're in tip-top condition, preserve their useful life, keep them from rusting, eroding, jamming. Well, you may not have to do that anymore if Hillary gets into office, because she is the most anti-Second Amendment candidate the country has ever seen. Keep that in mind. Would you like your personal property, your firearms, your handguns, your rifles, your pistols, your shotguns taken from you? Well, if you don't mind, then Hillary might be your friend. But anyone voting and supporting and endorsing and encouraging Hillary Clinton is not my friend. And I don't want that person on my property, because that person is an enemy of my freedoms. Okay? So anybody who supports Clinton is not a friend of mine. Captain John Regan, you were sharing a personal story.
Yeah, and let me just give you my thought process on this. One, we are now more than 5 years beyond Fukushima, and I believe Fukushima is the cause of this. And because that pretty much went all over the place, there may be some of you out there experiencing some symptoms, might not necessarily manifest with the unexpected weight loss. So you might want to do some research, just for your own edification there. And, again, we really can't afford a whole lot treatment-wise, but what I'm looking at, and this is where the liposomal vitamin C link comes into play. Humans are one of the few mammals that don't produce vitamin C to begin with. Your dogs and cats don't need it. Your cows don't need it. They make their own. But for those of us that have two legs, we've got to consume vitamin C, or it causes problems because our skin's made out of vitamin C. It's converted into what makes up our organs. So it's very critical that we get enough of this. And several years ago, it might have even been before we left Texas, I read an article where even MD Anderson recognized that intravenous vitamin C was helpful in the treatment of at least some cancers. Now, on the scheme of cancer treatments, that's not expensive. Now, in the scheme of personal finances, the money involved is beyond me, and the time is a factor too, because you have to find a doctor that will do it, go there, and have a needle in your arm. Not exactly enjoyable, and you can't just take a whole lot of vitamin C without hitting bowel tolerance. And, it's no fun to have to run to the bathroom all the time either. So that's where this liposomal vitamin C comes into play. And what it is and while you can buy the capsules already made up, again, that's beyond my budget. But basically for $1 a day, I'm going to be able to make up this vitamin C for Becky and myself. The first go round, I had to spend another little bit. So for less than $100, I've got enough to make 2 months worth of supplementation. It takes an ultrasonic jewelry cleaner, and you can find these fairly inexpensive on Amazon. And then you preferably want non-GMO lecithin and vitamin C. And then it's basically that and water. And it takes about a half hour per batch, and the size of this machine can only do one batch at a time. And for us, that would be a day's worth at the therapy level. And the interesting thing about this is once you've encapsulated the vitamin C with the fat, it makes it easier to go through the cell wall and be used. So with this smaller amount of vitamin C that's probably within your bowel tolerance level, you can actually get more vitamin C into your cells than if you went and got the IV vitamin C treatment. So that's the direction we're going. So the personal updates, some good news, some bad news. Other than the weight loss, which is an early symptom, really all we're experiencing at this point is fatigue. Don't know how things will progress, but that's what it is. And of course, your prayers are welcome.
John, I'm really glad that you brought up the solution to this. And you talked about an ultrasonic cleaner. I just went to eBay. And, class, you can get an ultrasonic cleaner for $163 with free shipping. You can get one for $119. And these are all brand new. You can get a large one for $338. You can get a small one for jewelry cleaning at $24.99. And you might want to go ahead.
What I did is I spent a little bit more than the one that's pictured in the article. So I spent $40 with $39.99 on it. And the reason I did is because that model has a timer that goes up to 8 minutes, and it's going to take you 20 to 25 minutes to do the process. So even with this model, I've got to reset the timer, set it and then set it 2 more times to get through the process. Some of these less expensive models, like the $30 and less, you'd have to be resetting that timer quite often. So that's, again, just what I found in my research.
Mm-hmm. And as you were saying that, John, I was looking, and I found one that it's on eBay. Let's see, it has an ultrasonic power of 50 watts, the heating power of 100 watts. It's 2-liter capacity. And this particular one is $64.90 shipped. And not only can you use an ultrasonic cleaner for this purpose, but there are many things that you can use an ultrasonic cleaner for. And let me give you an example. For those of you who have small power equipment that has a carburetor on it, for example, and that carburetor gets gummed up, if it has a float in the carburetor that's made out of brass, what you can do is you can take the Viton needle tip out of the carburetor, the float, shut off the needle and seat, if you will. Take that out, disassemble the carburetor, and put the carburetor in the ultrasonic cleaner, and it will blast with a water bath and maybe a little detergent that you'd use in your dishwasher. It will blast the dirt right off that carburetor, and it will look brand new. It will clean out the tubes, the jets, everything, and it will make it look brand new, literally. So when ours get gummed up, we put them in the ultrasonic cleaner, and they work great. Now, what was it designed for? Well, this device was used to clean out hypodermic needles because we used to have reusable hypodermic needles, and any of the serum that would stay in the needle would tend to clog the needle. And how do you clean that out with a real fine wire? What do you do? Well, the technology was developed to vibrate water, a little over 20 to 40,000 cycles per second, and this vibrating water would just dislodge the gum and the serum and the hardened whatever it is in these fine passages in these needles, and it worked just great. So we use that technology here at the farm, and so we have one, and we've had it for many, many years, and you can use it for lots of cleaning applications. So I just wanted to share that. And what we're looking at, John, is we're really trying to find a number of for these kits that we're building. So, for example, a kit may be nice to have a digital volt-o-meter for one of the kits, but wouldn't it be neat if that same digital volt-o-meter would be used in 3 or 4 or 5 of the kits? So we're trying to find the tools that can be shared among the kits, so you don't have to buy a different tool for each kit, and that's the plan. Okay, class. So, John, sorry for the detour, but I wanted to share that about the ultrasonic cleaner. Great,
it's good.
Topic.
It's a nice tool. You can use it to clean your eyeglasses. There is a warning that if it does have coatings, it might take those off as well. Of course, like it says, it's a jewelry cleaner, so clean that. If you rent DVDs, it doesn't help with scratches, but if it's dirty, clean the DVD and make it playable again. So many things you can use it for.
Yeah, one warning. Do not put one of those composition carburetor floats. They're usually black in color, and they're made out of a composition material rather than the brass float. Well, the brass float will be fine if you put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, but if you put in one of those composition floats, it will destroy it. So don't put the composition float in, and I wouldn't put the Viton needle in the shutoff needle in the ultrasonic cleaner either. That may get destroyed. So those are just my thoughts. Josh in New Hampshire, welcome.
Hi, Ben. Hello, John. I just wanted to make a recommendation to John and to your audience, Vincent, if I could. I'm like you. I'll get like a container of juice, like some of that Newman stuff there, pink lemonade, whatever. I'll pour a third way up of the glass, and then I'd add the water. And and I stretch the thing 3 times as much. But what I was going to recommend to John and to his bride is, get yourself a bread maker, for example, and you can experiment. Not only will you save a lot of money, it'll be probably less than $1 to make a loaf of bread. You basically throw the ingredients for it takes 5 minutes, press a button, walk away 3.5 hours, you get piping hot bread. But you control the ingredients that are in there, and you'll find that will not only make you more filled, but it will also give you a better quality of nutrition. I got a couple more recommendations, but if you don't have the time,
Well, did you want to hold through the break?
If that's okay, sure.
Sure. We'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now, with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Think body armor is just for commandos? Think again. In a collapse situation, you need to protect your entire family. Infidel Body Armor has created lightweight armor that repels AR-15 and AK-47 rounds. And priced at around $500, it won't break the bank. The whole kit weighs just 10 pounds, light enough for your 7-year-old or 70-year-old. Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com and get yours today. That's InfidelBodyArmor.com. Just won't quit.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
The best kept secret in the firearms business is CDNNsports.com. CDNN Sports is the largest firearms liquidator in the U.S. We've got optics, accessories, gun parts, magazines, ammunition, and more. Sign up for our email specials today for the best gun deals, period. You will also be entered to win a Winchester 101 field shotgun. Go to Charlie, Delta, Novembersports.com. That's CDNNsports.com.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
Captain John Regan's with us, and John in New Hampshire is with us and had a suggestion about a bread maker, and I just ran down to the kitchen. And Mrs. Finelli does exactly what you've been recommending. We haven't bought a loaf of bread in years, and it costs about 20 cents, 25 cents with the electricity, not including the cost of the bread machine. But we bought one on eBay for about $32, $33, $35, something like that. Many, many years ago. It was used in perfect condition, and it works great. And I just want to say that we haven't bought bread in a long time, and literally the cost of bread is about a quarter, and that's with the yeast and all the ingredients that go in it. So, John, please continue.
Yeah, I just like to say, too, like, I'll eat brown rice every now and again. You can get like a 2-pound bag for like $1.50, and I'll mix in frozen peas with that, and you get a little rice maker, and you can throw in some other things. I personally like some wild-caught squid with the different juice or something to throw it in there, but that's from the Italian side of my ancestry. So, but I was just going to say this too for Becky and for John. I was going to recommend. I used to work for Veteran Services, and there's big VAs, and there's no shortages of wars. So there's a lot of returning veterans. A man with your talent, with Becky's skills, I'm sure you could find a job in the federal service there with the Veterans Administration, and they have good, excellent benefits, and you'd be doing something that's close to your heart, and you'd be enhancing a system, and you can go there for medical care too, John, or any veteran, or in some cases even dependent of veterans, for the simple reason that you don't have to go along with the medical program, but they can give you all kinds of tests, and then you work with your other contacts like Dr. Shealy, among others. And, between the combination, I think that would go a long way to helping you and saving your medical costs significantly.
Okay, thanks.
I just have one last question, John. I bought you a cup of coffee before, but I neglected to ask you, do you want a cappuccino, an espresso, or a regular next time? I couldn't. Hey, take care, guys. It's a pleasure talking to you. Okay? Bye-bye.
John, New Hampshire, thank you so much. John Regan, we have some really, really wonderful students and instructors. We really do. We are quite fortunate, and it's great to hear them. So, John, we have a few minutes remaining.
Well, let me quickly get to the link entitled "The Top News This Week," and it's one thing to hear the political posturing, like Saudi threatening to sell, the U.S. debt that it owns, but this one it was really troubling. Saudi admits that they will start paying government contractors with IOUs. They are having problems. That's not good news for us because they're the big dog there of the Middle Eastern countries that require that oil be paid for in dollars. Now, when they change that and the oil is open to other currencies, that pretty much takes the last leg out from under the dollar that we're used to having. And the estimate is that things will probably at least double in price for what we have to buy elsewhere. And of course, we have to buy a lot of things elsewhere. So this is a biggie. it's one of those signposts that suggests that we're a whole lot closer to the end of the dollar. And of course, when the dollar goes, that pretty much starts other dominoes falling. So I can't tell you how long it will be, but we're definitely seeing signs that it's closer.
You know, John, our tone has changed over the years. You can hear it in our voices. It's not an act. It's real. We're very concerned. You can see it in our actions. I don't go to the meetups very often. I don't leave home very often. We're preparing as best we can, as quickly as we can, and we want to make as few mistakes as possible. John, I really appreciate all of your hard work that goes into this broadcast and waking up Americans. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
There's nothing more enticing and intoxicating than the finest meat cooking on an open flame. Freeze-dried meat from newharvest.com is U.S. grown, 100% all-natural with no extra fillers. Just grass-fed beef and free-range chicken guaranteed to stay fresh and delicious. Add New Harvest freeze-dried meats to your current food storage. You'll buy direct from the factory, not a third party, ensuring the best price and the highest quality. See all our products at newharvestfoods.com. That's newharvestfoods.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.